the third installment of the Sabretooth War Story arc, we find the man himself, Victor Creed, and what's left of the multiversal versions of himself aboard the stolen Orca Station 5 aircraft. Sabretooth is in deep thought as he reminisces on his former days when he and Wolverine were a part of Team X. Sabretooth is so deep in thought that he doesn't initially realize Savage and Camo expressing their grievances. Needless to say, the morale of Team Creed has seen better days. Savage Sabretooth complains about their fallen members, Pretty Boy and Cap dying in vain, while Camo criticizes Creed's leadership role. This snaps Creed out of his nostalgic trance as he charges at Camo with bad intentions. Sabretooth reiterates to Camo that he can lead if he can defeat Sabretooth in combat. Before these two feral mutants collide, it's worth noting that we see Wolverine's daughter, Laura Kinney, in the background in some sort of holding cell. This confirms that Savage and Camo didn't kill Laura when they encountered her back at the X-Force headquarters. Sabretooth lands a powerful downward slashing strike that rips Camo open, exposing his bones. Camo returns the favor, but Sabretooth quickly counters with a penetrating attack to Camo's abdomen. The fight is over. If they were in the wild, Sabretooth would have won the right to mate with Savage. After the fight, as Savage tends to Camo, Laura takes it upon herself to mock the two lesser versions of Creed, highlighting their beta status. Savage quickly becomes annoyed with Laura and commands one of the headless husk to release gas in her cell, lower her to the floor. It is now that we see Savage enter Laura's holding cell with malicious, insidious intent, as she plans to shut Laura up. After all, how can one speak with no jaw and tongue? In one swift, violent strike, Savage slashes Laura's jaw clean off and clenches her tongue like a trophy. Laura will heal and regrow her jaw and tongue. She is the daughter of Wolverine, after all, but damn, that was fucked up. Savage then proceeds to conspire with Camo, as the two plan to use Sabretooth's son, Graydon Creed, to do their dirty work for them. Sabretooth returns to his sleeping quarters, where he begins a conversation with the severed head of Kid Omega. In sadistic fashion, Sabretooth simply wants to know if Wolverine is suffering and if he knows they kidnapped Laura. Kid Omega confirms, and this is good enough for Sabretooth as he then decides to get some rest. What happens next is rather uncanny as we see the head of Kid Omega release some kind of psychic energy beam like a message for help. But who did he send it to? His dear friend Oya, as in one of the members of Sabretooth's exiles, Oya, as in one of the mutants Sabretooth mentally tortured when he and the rest of the exiles were imprisoned in the pit of Krakoa Oya. She quickly relays the dream to Third Eye, who confirms that Kid Omega is deceased, but somehow a part of him still lingers. Oya then notifies Necra that Sabretooth has reemerged, and Necra is not as enthused as Oya because of their failed attempts in the past to find Creed. But after a gruesome visual from Third Eye showing what Sabretooth did to Kid Omega, and a little convincing from Oya, Necra rallies the rest of the original exiles to officially declare war on Sabretooth. Sabretooth could care less, though, because he's still riding the waves of memory lane as he reminisces on more of he and Wolverine's bloody conquests during their Team X days. His nostalgia is once again interrupted, but this time from the seemingly sleeping head of the deceased Kid Omega. And the head appears to be talking to itself and displays an image of Wolverine, and then something piques Sabretooth's interest, a treasure map with an X marking a particular spot. Sabretooth grins as he now plans to visit this exact site. I do believe that this is a trap set to lure Creed to this location and have the exiles waiting there to ambush him. I must say Sabretooth has bitten off more than he can chew, as he now has Savage and Camo conspiring against him. The Exiles have declared war on him, and it's safe to say that it's only a matter of time before Wolverine tracks him down as well. After his hands and feet grow back, of course, this is shaping up to be a bloody bad day for old Victor Creed.